Hey everybody, it's Miss Anderson here, presenting to you guys the first segment of your lectures on the Cuban Missile Crisis. As we've spoken about, your task is going to be to make sure that you go through these presentations, that you understand the material, and have good notes on each segment. There will be a quiz after each segment, so you need to be prepared for that. So hopefully this presentation, along with the notes that you guys should be seeing as we go through, will help you with that. So, so the Cuban Missile Crisis. So we're going to talk about this topic, and it is one that, as we're studying the Cold War, I think is one that you guys really need to come to understand. Our unit has been split up into essentially three big chunks. So we talked about sort of the post-war world, this division in Berlin, and Berlin as kind of the first face-to-face confrontation, and basically just understanding the differences between the U.S. And the NATO allies to the west, and then the Soviet Union, its development, as well as its allies in the east, and how this sort of Cold War emerged. And then the second part was what was happening at home. How were Americans reacting to these Cold War fears? What were some of, especially in the case of Joe McCarthy, what were some of the really dramatic reactions that Americans and American politicians had, and really focused on that notion of fear. And this third section of this early Cold War study is the Cuban Missile Crisis, which in and of itself, the Cuban Missile Crisis is probably one of the most dramatic events in the second half of the 20th century. And I can't underestimate that enough to you guys. The title of this lecture series is The Cuban Missile Crisis. You'll never know how close we came, because we came incredibly close to nuclear war. And the Cuban Missile Crisis, that clock ticked very close to nuclear war. So that is sort of the background and the importance of this particular event.